Good evening, everyone. I just got on here to talk about going through the grieving process. I have a lot of people that I know have lost their close family members and their close friends, and going through the grieving process. And even if you have lost a loved one years ago, months ago, days, or hours ago, there is no time limit on grief. You have to grieve and cry when you need to. Don't let anyone tell you that, okay, it's time for you to stop grieving, or you need to stop acting, or you need to just get up and move forward, because the loved one that's gone wouldn't want you to be living like this, or be grieving as much and crying. But no one can tell you how it hurts, or no one can tell you not to hurt, that it doesn't hurt. No one can tell you get up, dust yourself off, and move. Yes, there are people that get up, they still have to go to work, they still have to deal with the family, they still have to do, if they have children, they still have to be there for their children, or if they are a husband or a wife, they still have to be there for their spouse. And you have to grieve and you cry when you need to. When you need to. Like the Bible says, there's a time and season for everything. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn. So when you in that mourning state, and in that mourning stage, just mourn. And when you feel as though you want to laugh, you can laugh. You can also laugh going through the grieving process. You don't want to get so, you don't want to start getting down and getting depressed. I don't want you to take what I'm saying wrong. I just want you to be able to grieve as much as you want. But I don't want you to close yourself off from everyone. Don't close yourself off. Don't go in your room and sit there in the dark with no light coming in, and you don't want to eat. You don't. It starts becoming. You start getting to a depression state. That's what I was trying to say. You start getting into a depression state, and that's not good. But you cry as much as you want. It hurts. It hurts like crazy when you find out you have lost a close family member, a close friend. It hurts, and the hurt doesn't go away. It just gets easier to bear as the days and the weeks go, and the months and years go on. It just gets easier to bear. But the hurt and the broken heart doesn't go anywhere. Yes, the broken heart, some people, the broken heart may heal, they may function like they're healed, but deep down inside, when they go in their homes, when they go behind closed doors, they are screaming and crying because they lost their loved one. And you also have to give it to God. You have to pray and ask God to heal you, to take you through this grieving period, to take you through the bereavement period, to take you through it, and He will carry you through. I know for a fact He will carry you through it. I've been through it, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to not hurt. I didn't think that when I don't see my loved ones anymore, I didn't think that that pain was going to ever go away. When I look at the place where they always are, or where I've always seen them, or talking on the phone, or when I come across something that belongs to them, I didn't think that I could even go to the places that they used to go, or we used to go together, that I will be able to do it. It took me a while, because every time I would go to a place that when I had lost a really close friend of mine, and I would go around that area, my heart started beating fast. I would just start, my heart would start beating really fast, and I would get short of breath, and I wasn't ready to go around there. I wasn't ready for that. But as the time started going on, I started allowing myself to go to those, not to the actual place maybe, but go around in that area, and it started getting easier. It started getting easier for me to go. I wasn't feeling those panic attacks. I wasn't getting those panic attacks. I was able to be like, okay, okay, I can do it. Okay, and it started getting easier, and that started the healing process. That started the healing process for me. I don't know what each of you all healing processes are, how you go through the healing process, but there is a healing process. My children, when they lost their father, I didn't think that they would ever, they haven't, that was the first person they have ever lost that was close to them, that was really close. They have lost people, but their father, when we lost him, it was hard. It was hard, and I had to, be strong for my children. you know I didn't want to cry around my children. I didn't want to really grieve around my children because I had to be strong for them. I didn't want to break down in front of my children. I know I was their only parent, and I needed to be strong for my children. But when I would get to myself, or when I would get in my room or something, or in the car, and I think of him, I would cry. I would cry, and I don't want to cry now because I miss him. I really, really miss him. But I went through it, and I was able to, you know, go around, like, talk about him. I was able to talk about him without feeling, oh my goodness, I miss him so much. Yeah, there's times it's almost, this year be 3 years. This year will be 3 years. 2019 will be 3 years. In May will be 3 years since we lost him, and I still, sit in my room and get sad and wish he was here, wish I could just pick the phone up and call him and talk to him, you know. I just wish I could just do those things, but I know I can't. And, it's hard. And my daughters and my sons, they are still grieving. They are still grieving, and they function. They have families. They deal with their children, their families, and they do what they have to do. They go to work and do everything they have to do, but they still are hurting. I can't tell them, and I will not tell them, it's time for you to stop grieving. It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to move on. I will never tell them that. No, don't let anyone tell you to stop it. You grieve as much as you want, as long as you want. But just know, give it to God. And when it becomes unbearable, when it comes to time that you just don't want to eat, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to just do anything, you don't want to go to work, you don't want to be around anyone, that's when the enemy is coming in, and he's giving you a depression spirit, so he can talk to you about, oh, you lost this, your loved one, and I know you want to be with your loved one. Why don't you just go ahead and do something to be with your loved one? Don't let the enemy allow you to take your life. Give it to God. If you can talk to someone and reach out to someone and let them know that I'm struggling with this, we have to talk. We have to talk to someone, because we don't know when someone is at that point that they have the pills in their hand, or they have the gun in their hand, the knife, or whatever that's in the loved ones so much, and we can be there for you. It was reconnecting. I don't know. Before you even try to want to do anything that us to do. He wants fear, and God has not given us the spirit of fear. He has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love. He wants us to love ourselves. He wants us to love one another. He wants to take us out. He wants to give us panic attacks and anxiety, as though something's going wrong, or you're going to die, or my heart, my chest is pounding. this and my that, trick of the enemy. You have to plead the blood of Jesus over that situation and pray to God, and God will definitely see you through. Just remember, there is no time limit on grief. Grieve as long as you want, as much as you want. Cry as long and as much as you need to cry. I just want you to be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. You know, I long for a mother. I lost my mother when I was 7 years old. I'm 52. I grew up without a mother. All of my friends had mothers. I had a grandmother. My grandmother raised us the best she knew how, and I long for a mother. I always wonder what my life would be like if I had my mother. What would have happened to me if I had my mother? I know I wouldn't have gone through a lot of things I have gone through if I had my mother. And I see people and these young people treating their mother or treating their parents, many of their mother, any kind of way. Speaking about the mothers, because I lost my mother. My father is still here. He has dementia, so he recognizes me, but he has dementia, and I'm doing everything I can for him. It's hard. It's a struggle, but a mother, a motherless child has it hard. My grandmother, she was older, when she took us in, and she raised us, my brother, my sister, and I. She raised us, but it was difficult. I always wanted a mother. And I remember things about my mother, but a lot of stuff I don't. I have pictures of my mother. She was very beautiful. I look like my father, but my mother was very beautiful. I always longed for a mother. And when I see, these young people talking to their mothers any kind of way and being disrespectful to their mothers, it just does something to me. Only thing I could do is pray for and pray for the mother of whatever you're going through. Talk to God and He will carry you through. Give it to Him, put it in His hands. Don't allow the enemy to win. Stomp on that enemy's head, plead the blood, resist the enemy, and he will flee. And I love you all. Be blessed and have an awesome day. Today is March the 7th, 2019. Love you all. Be blessed. Hope this video I can't even talk. I hope this video is an encouragement to someone. Like, share the page, not like, I'm not on Facebook, but subscribe to the page, and you can leave a comment below if you would like.